Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters, dear friends. Jazakallah here for tuning in to the Wahda podcast. If you haven't already followed us on Instagram and Twitter, please do so at team_Wahda, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel. This podcast is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Enjoy the podcast. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters, dear friends. I hope you're all in the best health and iman. You're with myself, Kamil. We have our usual lineup today with Brother Hashim, Brother Yusuf, and our guest from last week, Idris, who will inshallah be joining us quite often on the Wahda podcast. This is episode 6. How is everyone?
Alhamdulillah.
Yusuf, how are you? Good. That's good to hear, man. Quarantine, has it got to your head yet?
Not yet, man. Not yet.
Anyway, let's get into it. Today, inshallah, we'll be talking about Ramadan is fast approaching. SubhanAllah, the year goes very quick, doesn't it, Hashim? It's like yesterday that we were preparing for last year's Ramadan, and already it's coming.
Yeah, it actually has, man. I remember last year I was at the beach, man. I was with the family. Yeah, I was with the family.
Sunbathing, yeah.
I was watching football at that time, and you know what I mean. Life just goes fast. You think to yourself like, we're in a state now where we're just completely under lockdown, so we don't really have much to do.
Well, so you were Ramadan on the beach. You're doing Travi on the beach or something? Yeah, but okay. So every year there's quite a question of Ramadan, and it's the month inshallah where the shayateen are locked up, and we're always in kind of a hurry in order to kind of get the most out of it, you know, with all the shopping and stuff, etc. How are you guys preparing for Ramadan? I'll start with you, Yusuf. How are you preparing for Ramadan in terms of everything, not just spiritually, but actually in terms of what you're gonna do on a daily basis?
So I'll divide it into two things. So obviously the spiritually and physically.
Okay.
So physically, I'm trying to get my sleep better. So I'm trying to read up how to improve on sleep, how to eat healthy, what to eat, to make sure the fast is easier.
Okay.
And then spiritually, making intentions that I want to meet in Ramadan. So finishing the Quran, increasing in dhikr and prayer, and yeah,
that's good. To be honest, especially with the circumstances we're in now, I think I feel it's a lot easier to kind of reform our lifestyle on a daily basis, because we're not occupied with school, work, etc. I think it's a lot more easy to focus on what to change.
Yeah, there's a lot of free time and freedom in how you use your time. You have more control over your time now.
Yeah, so finally now it's a lot easier to do
in the house.
Yeah, exactly. Idris, what about you, man?
Well, I'm gonna just spiritually and physically. Well, I'm gonna still try and keep active, of course, because you know.
Working out and stuff.
I'll try to do it, even if it's just small, just something in it. I'm gonna my sleeping schedule. I'm gonna try
Your sleeping schedule is terrible.
I'm try to sort that out, and so slowly gonna try to build that up. And also, one of my main goals is this Ramadan is to finish off the Quran. And as we're in quarantine, you have so much spare time. It's like the only time in ever where we have this much time to actually do it. Because normally we have so much stuff like work, school, everything like that. Whereas now,
exactly.
We have so much spare time, so I think it'll be much easier to do. Like a big opportunity. Yeah. And I also want to expand my knowledge as well. So I really need to start. I'm really gonna start reading just books, Islamic books, and just normal books as well. That's one.
Yeah. So you don't want to just limit yourself to.
My aim is to come out changed, properly changed, and I feel reading and just reading is gonna help me a lot.
Also, listening as well helps. From teachers.
Listening. Yeah, that's true. I think that's a good point, Yusuf. I think in Ramadan, it's a lot. It's a month where a lot can happen, and I think one thing is to stay motivated. So one bit of advice that I'd have is probably you're talking about listening. I think kind of select a few scholars, public speakers, etc., that you could listen to kind of motivate you, get you inspired, talk about topics that you're interested in. It doesn't have to be about like the Sahaba. It could be about anything like Islamic, it could even non-Islamic, just something to keep you motivated, keep you on track, inshallah. But yeah, Hashim, what about you? Last but not least.
Islam brothers. Basically, so spiritually, obviously, like Brother Idris said, finish the Quran, which is one of my main priorities, and also making sure I'm reading books, so therefore I can increase my knowledge on Islam, and therefore talk about certain things, and also like for me, in terms of physically, just making sure that obviously in Ramadan your body goes through so much stress from fasting for so much number of hours. So therefore, you have to have the fitness, you have to have the willpower, you have to have the mental capability. So for me, like mentally, I got to prepare myself as well, because for me, fasting is grueling, and especially the fact that it's quarantine, you're at home and you're not really doing that much. It's very hard to, for me, it's hard.
That's harder, man.
Time just is ticking away. It feels longer because you're not doing anything. Rather, if you're outside, you're with family, you're going to the mosque, you're praying, you're meeting friends, time goes faster, or you're at school. Whereas now we're just amongst ourselves. And for me, I think that is where you can make your time wise, and you can make sure that you're reading Quran. Like Brother Yusuf said, you're listening to reciters. For me, what I'm planning to do is also improving my Arabic. For me, obviously, when it comes to Ramadan, people like to learn new languages. For me, I want to improve my Arabic, so it helps with my Quran, helps you with my recitation and stuff, so that I make sure that it becomes better, and that's why I want to improve on.
Mashallah, that's good to hear, man. You talked about Hashim, about how like Ramadan's grueling, and like obviously we're in quarantine for the foreseeable future. Do you think, I'm gonna ask Idris, do you think that's gonna make it a more of a test, that it's like not more time, but like there's not as much to like kind of occupy yourself, so if anything, you're kind of forced to recite, like read Quran, kind of improve spiritually?
I feel it's yes, of course it's for a lot of us and for everyone, it's gonna be a test, because we're in our homes, like just like in a small space. We can't go out, we can't see other people, we can't go to the mosque, we can't do stuff like that, but we normally do. We can't meet family. But then it also could be seen as like a blessing, because now you have all this time, there's more you can do because like you can read the Quran, you could read the English translation of the Quran, you can expand your knowledge in different stuff. Then you have a lot of time to do different stuff that will actually benefit you. Although it's gonna be although time's gonna go quite slow, because we're gonna be in quarantine, I feel will go quite slow. It's just how we utilize that time though, and I feel each Ramadan is what you do, and now we actually have so much time to actually do, because we have nothing that, like, for example, work, school. Like for example, school, we don't have school anymore, so we have all that spare time from school, which we can keep, which we can like read the Quran, read English translation, expand our knowledge. So I feel it's going to be a test, but it's also a blessing as well. I feel it's more of a blessing than it is.
With time being slow, what you could do is make a timetable, or like a kind of a structure to your day. So, for example, after Fajr, read Quran. After Dhuhr, do a bit of schoolwork. And once you know what you're doing throughout the day, then time will go quicker.
Very, very true.
Yeah. Got to do a quick plug, brothers. You used to talk about time and planning. Wahda, we've I say Wahda, I think I was the only one who did it.
Definitely.
But Wahda, we've been Idris helped me for 10 minutes. We've been developing a Ramadan planner. And if you want a copy, a PDF copy, it's gonna be inshallah in the description if it's on YouTube, and if you're listening to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, check out our Instagram at team underscore Wahda, and we'll try and get it to you from there, inshallah. But anyway, moving on from that quick plug. I was just gonna ask you, brothers, for you in terms of like past Ramadan, what was like the biggest test for you? Hashim, what would you say was like the biggest going into Ramadan? What was the biggest test for you? Was it the fasting itself, or was it like other aspects of life, like for example, not listening to music? Or,
Aki, I think that obviously at that time I didn't used to pray, so obviously I didn't used to pray, so that was kind of my issue. Like the fasting for me, like I fasted throughout GCSEs, exams, sixth form. It wasn't difficult. It's just that like it's doing things. Like you can easily just sit around fast, not doing anything, and then just open your fast and just think that you've done so good. It's more like about striving to do more, if you know what I mean. Because people just feel like they're so limited. I remember when I was in secondary school, brothers used to say to me, "Oh yeah, brother, after I come back, when I come back from school, all I do is just lay in my bed till iftar time, and then that's what I do. I just, you know what I mean? Just
I'll have a nap or something
exactly,
for the whole
just
day,
in your
and then
bed.
you wake
But
up
actually, that's not Ramadan. That's not what it's meant to be. You're meant to strive to learn more new things, and obviously, like Idris said, change yourself as a person. For me, this should be the absolute necessary time that you should be able to want to pray. This should be because
you got a good point there.
When you pray in Ramadan, you feel the full effects of why you should pray, and then you feel the spiritual basis as well. And once you feel the spiritual basis, that's when you start to want to learn more. Like for me, when I talked about in the couple episodes when I talked about spiritual basis, where I didn't used to pray, and then when I started praying, once I felt that spiritual basis, and once you feel it in your heart, it will transform you into wanting to learn more. Like I wanted to learn different surahs. I wanted to listen to different sheikhs on different videos and just improve my knowledge. And then you will get to that point where, alhamdulillah, you'll just keep wanting to learn more. And in terms of music, I keep strict purposes when it's music, because for me, obviously when you're around family, they strictly forbid music, and rightly so. So for me, music was never an issue.
Okay. Idris, what would you say was like the biggest test for you going into Ramadan?
So for me, I would say it would it would be, so it's not actually giving up the food and giving up the water and all that, because that's probably the easiest bit of Ramadan. For me, in my opinion, I'd say the hardest bit would be just like being lazy, like
not procrastinating.
So just look and blaming that, and just having that mindset. Oh, I'm fasting, I can be lazy. I'm fasting, I don't have to do anything. So it's just being lazy, and also when you haven't drinking or eating, like you get quite hot headed in that. So it's just about like just getting angry at times as well. So for me, the biggest one would probably be getting hot headed in that during Ramadan in the past. And obviously that's something that I do wish to change this Ramadan. But also not doing anything with my time. So for me, it wouldn't be giving up the food or giving up the water, anything like that. Giving up music, it wouldn't be something like that. It was just them two big things, I'd say. Personally.
Yusuf?
So when it comes to fasting, there's 2 degrees of fasting. There's the fasting of the stomach, and there's the fasting of the limbs, where you try and fast from sin. And that's the challenge that's what I'm trying to work on. That's what I find 100%. Challenging. So not backbiting, not looking at haram, not using your hands for haram. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to work on. That's the challenge that I'm trying to overcome.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, that's very true. Do you have like any like forms of like controlling, like in terms of when you try and like fast, like you were saying, fasting with your limbs, like do you have any like forms
I think
of like, kind of
dhikr helps. So try reminding yourself that Allah is watching you. Saying Allah, some dhikrs and salawat, that helps you focus on staying away from disobedience, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. Because I think when like we sin and stuff, I think it's always like we're like kind of conscious of who's not looking, but we always forget that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is looking at us. Like no matter where we are, like you can hide your pillow or something, whatever it is, like a cover, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can still see what you're doing. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a good point, mashallah. Yeah, I think I kind of agree with all of you. For me, the toughest thing for me in terms of Ramadan was it was going in as the person as who I was, but I wanted to go out as a different person. And I think this is one thing that I think a lot of brothers and sisters can agree with is you have the niyyah to like go into Ramadan and come out a changed person, but it's like you go good for a week and then you stumble over. I think that's for me this Ramadan, and my niyyah is to like kind of lay down the foundations where I can inshallah be a much better person inshallah.
Yeah.
Did you find GCSEs hard?
I'll be honest with you, man. Like Yusuf, me and you were both we were quite close during GCSEs, and like everyone was saying to me like don't fast and stuff.
Yeah.
For me, if anything, alhamdulillah, it actually made it easier. Because remember, we used to be studying like we'd be fasting anyway. I think it helped like get you like you're disciplined anyway, isn't it? Because you're like revising and stuff. And then you're fasting
You're
in
more
like
focused.
the state of like fasting. Exactly. You're not focusing on other things. You know what I mean? But yeah, you're more focused, and alhamdulillah, I think the barakah came as well, because alhamdulillah we did quite well. But yeah, I think fasting is a lot. There's way more positives than negatives, and I think one thing is like Idris was saying about like hot-headedness. I think sometimes that can like lead to like you kind of questioning certain things like, oh, this is wrong, Like it's just, I think you should understand it's a blessing. Yeah. So Hashim, man, what would you say is your goal in this Ramadan? Your one goal to accomplish. If you had one thing that you wanted to achieve by the end of Ramadan, what would it be?
That's a bit of a hard question, Aki. Thing is, obviously, when it's because Ramadan's 30 days, it's hard to think of one. Because for me, I told you like the main one is obviously finish Quran, because obviously that carries the most blessings, because Ramadan is the month which the Quran was revealed. So therefore, finish with the Quran in that much has tremendous blessings, and also, obviously, learning more surahs. So learning different surahs, and also making sure that my knowledge on certain topics of Islam is enhanced, and also just making sure that I'm following the tradition and sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Yeah, Hashim, you told me about when you talk about learning surah, you told me about the Learn Surah Mulk challenge.
Haki? Oh yeah,
yeah. You know tell us a bit about that, man.
Well, basically, so obviously Surah Mulk, it's got 30 verses in there, and obviously Ramadan's it's 30 days. So therefore, if you recite a verse every single day, you learn a verse every single day, by the time you get to the end of Ramadan, inshallah, you will learn Surah Mulk. And Surah Mulk is actually a very, very important surah, because it protects you from the punishment of the grave. And for me, that is one of the most important surahs. And to learn it in the month of Ramadan, especially a surah of that caliber and of that like such high rank, it would be such a blessing.
Do you have any tips for finishing the Quran? Yeah.
Finish the Quran, brother.
No, just reading it in Ramadan, like
reading
front to back.
Well, Brother Kamil suggested that we should read 6 pages a day, because I know obviously some brothers and sisters, they won't be able to read 15 pages, 20 pages, because sometimes in Arabic they won't understand what it means, and they just won't have the capability to go for that long, because the brain won't go past a certain limit of you just reading. Reading alone, just not reading in your head, you'll end up getting bored. So therefore, just start off slow, just read a couple pages, and then you'll get to a point where you'll just have that habit of keep going. Like I said, like the Dharma said with prayers and the other episode, just start off very, very slow, and then you'll get to a point where your brain will start to adapt to what you're doing before, and therefore you'll start to keep wanting to recite more. And the Quran is a blessing in itself, and for me, reading it is a big blessing. So we should all be doing that.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly add on to that, Yusuf, about how, like, tips to finish the Quran, and we've actually put it on our Instagram account. There's like a guide of how many pages to read a day, and obviously there's different mushaf of the Quran, isn't it? So like you have the Arab, you have the Bangla, you have the 13 line. For the Arab mushaf, it's 4 pages after each salah or before each salah in the day. So you're effectively reading 20 pages a day. But if you're reading 4 pages at Fajr, 4 pages at Dhuhr, 4 pages Asr, Maghrib, Isha, etc., then that'll get you to 20 pages. And if you just do that daily, that's to finish it once, and then just double it on if you want to finish it twice, 3 times, 4 times, etc. And if you've got the 13 line Quran, which is like majority, that's quite that's most people have that. Yeah, Indo-Pak, that's it. That's 6 pages after each salah or before salah, whatever suits you. So effectively, you're reading 30 pages a day. But yeah, that's
what I find useful
pages,
is
inshallah.
to read along with someone.
One
like Maher al Muaiqly or Hazaa al Belushi. It helps to keep it makes it easier if you see what I'm saying.
Yeah, inshallah, we'll try and put some of those reciters in the description of the video, inshallah, so you can check upon them as well. So Idris, this year obviously we're in quarantine, isn't it? SubhanAllah, it's a bit unforeseen circumstances. Never had anything like this ever. SubhanAllah. One thing I miss that I'm gonna definitely miss this year is Tarawih. What about you? What is one thing that you're gonna miss?
Me, it's just gonna be iftar with family, like cousins.
Yeah, man.
Just that company, and also praying. Like for me, it's not Tarawih. I don't really pray Tarawih. I'll go to the first one, then I don't go again.
I'll bring you next year, man.
Go to the first one and never go again, man. No, it's just for me, it's being with family. Like obviously, I have my immediate family here, but I'm talking like cousins, aunties, uncles, all of them. Just,
exactly.
Just the vibe and the atmosphere, everything's just gonna be much different.
Yeah, we've done iftar quite a few times, isn't it, Idris? It's a beautiful vibe.
It's gonna be weird because it's the first time something like this has actually happened.
Yeah, just do a Zoom call or like a FaceTime call. Open your fast together. Innit?
Yeah, man. And also like just not being able to go to the mosque on Ramadan. It's a bit.
Yeah, that's true, man.
It's just a bit weird, in my opinion. But
it is, isn't it? Like there's usually like you go for like Isha, you go for Maghrib. But this year, like it's a bit different, isn't it? You're a lot more restricted.
And it's gonna be all the time at your own house. So it's like for me it's a bit weird because I'm always with my cousins and all that. So it's gonna be a bit, it's gonna be a bit something you have to adapt to, but that's gonna be I personally miss the most. I feel Ramadan with family is just like it helps you for me spiritually. It's much better. Just like the feeling, it helps me spiritually as well.
Yeah, when you're like with other people, you get you feel like a lot more part of something, isn't it?
And you feel more like
man.
I don't know, you feel more spiritually charged, in my opinion, when you're with it.
100%.
Yeah, especially in this like time.
Yeah, Hashim, what do you think is gonna be like the toughest thing? Like, what are you gonna miss, or something that you want this year that you're not gonna have?
Yeah, I think definitely Aki is mosque. I think it's mosque because and also family as well. Because usually when it's Ramadan time, you usually like go to other people's houses, or you go to like you have like certain obviously Ramadan towards like the middle end. You have a massive gathering where you have like family and they invite your other cousins over, and then you break your fast with them there. You do like dhikr and that sort of thing there. And for me, that's what I'm gonna miss because obviously, the fact that you're home all day and you don't get to see other people around you, and you don't get to participate in dhikr and stuff without other people is a bit, you know what I mean? I'm gonna miss that as well.
Yeah,
and also
100%.
the mosque as well, because the mosque, for me, when you go to the mosque, especially Tarawih time, you go there and it's very grueling, because obviously it's very grueling. But the fact that you're up 11 o'clock in the night, people, the rest of the world are either up doing other things, sleeping, but you're worshipping Allah at that time. And for me, that is the most blessed feeling you will ever feel.
Yeah, 100% agree, bro. Tarawih is like the best feeling, because I've been going for like the last 2-3 years, and bro, it's very grueling, like you said, but like the benefit, the blessing you have, it's obviously like you're getting loads of blessing and barakah, etc. But I think it's just the feeling you get. You feel part of something great, isn't it? Like you have all your brothers, like Muslim brothers, praying together, all in the same like position. Everyone's like not recovering. It's like fasting some disease, but like you're kind of in a state of purity. I think is a better word to use.
Yeah, I think everyone's gonna miss Tarawih and just going to the mosque. And with that, the earth is our masjid, as you said previously. So you could make a room in your house, like a musalla, make it a sin-free room just for praying and stuff, just to create that environment again.
Yeah, it's a great point, Yusuf. That the world is a masajid, and I think just because you're not at the masjid itself doesn't mean the masjid can't come to you. If that makes sense. That you can't just create a room in your house. It doesn't have to be big. It can be small, and you can inshallah get the same
family as
spiritual feeling
to get the Jama'ah.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we all touched upon like family and stuff, and I think alhamdulillah, this is a great point because obviously we're all together. Now obviously we're not going to be able to like be with our extended family this Ramadan, but I think we'll be able to like kind of close our links like with the people that we live with on a daily basis. Because like obviously we've been locked down together for like the last month, is it? We've been together for the last month. Without like in lockdown, and now we have another month inshallah. And if we can like not just pray together or pray together, do dhikr together like Hashim was saying, but just like even just motivate each other, sit and talk. Like let's be honest, society is so fast nowadays. Like for me, this is the first time in a long time where I'm seeing myself talking.
Yeah.
Just to our families properly.
You could like to get closer with your family and build a more connection if you don't have one. More of a relationship with your
exactly
with your family, essentially, like your brother, your sisters, your mother, your father.
Any grudges, ill feelings?
Yeah, 100%, bro.
It's the time to. That's what I'm trying to do now. Work on.
Yeah. Exactly. I just wanted to quickly one point is this idea of Ramadan Muslims. It's not a term I like a lot, bro. I think it's quite a sad term. That some brothers and sisters are labeled as Ramadan Muslims. Like the idea that why do you think that happens? Like why do you think you mashallah for 1 month a year you're fine, you're praying, and then it goes, is it because there's like a lack of the heart hasn't maybe not purified, but it hasn't turned towards Allah in that way, or
made it easier in Ramadan,
just environmental thing?
And so like the demons are locked up.
Yeah, that's true.
Jannah is open, hellfire is closed. Allah's forgiving people, and also there's also that sense of unity as well amongst Muslims. Everyone's fasting together, praying together, so it kind of creates a healthy environment to increase in your ibadah. Yeah,
I think that's a good point, Yusuf, man, because the thing is like there's this like general thing that for 30 days, watch you're a sheikh, and then a day of Eid is like you're back to your lifestyle. And I think this Ramadan, I think we should all like pledge, inshallah, try and make that pledge with ourselves with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we can actually come out of Ramadan a completely changed person, like Idris was saying earlier, and we can be like a better servant to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but not just Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like the society as well. rather than procrastinating, rather than wasting time with certain people, going to certain places that, to be honest, is not going to help you in the afterlife.
You know the term Ramadan Muslims, yeah? I just feel it's such a negative term. And it's just like, I think it just, it just shows how like negative we are. Like, as how just like
100% agree.
Someone is doing something good, and we always got to find something. That's not how it should be.
Yeah, man.
If you
there's no like empowering, is it?
Whereas if you're out here helping them, pushing them, with them, it's gonna help them more than you calling them, "Oh, you're Ramadan."
Exactly.
Like, just for that term is just very like. Just.
Like exactly, like if you're calling them a Ramadan Muslim, then like you're gonna if you're gonna be carrying on saying that, then they're gonna be that, isn't it?
You're with them. I guarantee it's gonna have a better effect than you calling them a Ramadan Muslim, because positivity is much better than negative.
Yeah. And as Muslims, we need to be positive, man. It's the old cliche of like living with the glass half full in it. But anyway, like as Muslims, we need to believe in like the tawakkul of Allah, isn't it? Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was everything. Like even as Muslims, like, I've said a few times to you, man, that like as Muslims we got the blessing and we got the luxury that we never lose. We're always in a good position. Like alhamdulillah, we should always say alhamdulillah in all situations. Like whether Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with something, whether He's taken away something, we should always say alhamdulillah. And in this case as well, like if you see a brother or sister praying mashallah in Ramadan, say alhamdulillah, because that's another sister or brother who's coming towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you can do anything you can in order to maintain that, then surely you'll be blessed as well. Rather than exactly make dua for them. That's the least you can do. Yeah, I mean, like I think this is the thing. I think we're too judgmental nowadays. I think if we can actually come together, like if we can come together for 30 days, why can't we do it for the whole year?
We need to show more love to each other, man.
Do you know what I mean? Exactly, man. But inshallah, hopefully this Ramadan that changes. Yeah. I think that's a good place to end, inshallah. It's not been the longest episode, but I think inshallah it will be one that resonates, inshallah, the most. Anything to add, brothers, before we end? Nothing. Yusuf, anything?
Yes.
Anything you'd like to say to the brothers and sisters?
Pushing them anything? It's key we connected with the Quran, reading it and also understanding it, as Hashim has said. There's different tafsirs and lectures online. There's different reciters online that make it easy to go through the Quran.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sheikh Hashim, anything to say?
No, I just want to say, Aki, for the brothers that obviously have been doing, brothers and sisters who have been doing bad things, bad sins before Ramadan.
All of us, man. Everyone. We've all sinned.
If they've been doing bad sins in Ramadan and right now they're at home and then quarantined and they're thinking to themselves, "Oh yeah, this is another month where I can just carry on my business." Now, for me, you should look at this month as this is the moment where you want to change your ways. This is the moment where you could be forgiven of all sins, and you can just start fresh, like Brother Idris wants to do, where you can just go into Ramadan as the person you were and come out as a different, changed person, more forgiving, more good to your family, want to read Quran more, want to study more, not base and make sure that you're learning a new language or something, and also just make sure that you remember, like Yusuf said, your remembrance of Allah is always there. You're always making sure that, because for me this helps your mind and your spiritual aspect as well, because when you remember Allah constantly for every single day, you will not compare anything, and you will not compare other things to Allah, which is what some people do. Some people, they're so indulged. For example, they might be on a console game, or they might be chatting to some other girl. They're so indulged in these sort of haram things that they're not putting Allah first, and they're not doing what Allah commands first. And that, for me, you have to put as your number one priority before anything.
I think it's like, and for me, the main thing, because quarantine a lot of time, for me, is utilizing your time well. because we're never gonna have this much time on our hands during Ramadan. We never are. So for me,
that's true.
Utilize your time well and properly.
Yeah.
Utilize
As
it.
Hashim
That's
said,
a great message.
cutting
brothers.
out, we should all aim to cut out those sins and bad habits as well. And also, and distractions.
Yeah.
Because if you're trying to do good deeds, those things will distract you and waste your time. So that's one aim we should all have, inshallah.
Yeah. Inshallah. Jazakallah khair, brothers, again. Another great episode, alhamdulillah. Like I said in the episode, brothers and sisters, if you wish to have a Ramadan planner, which will inshallah help you through the month, it will either be in the link in the description, or if it's not, inshallah, please check out our Instagram page at team_Wahda, where just please DM us and we'll try and get it to you by email, WhatsApp. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. The 4 ways you can contribute to the channel is liking, checking it out, sharing it, subscribing, and just check out all our socials, inshallah, at team_Wahda. Jazakallah khair. Till next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.